Hello, everyone. I'm Joel, your host for Talking Trends, where we explore trends in the real estate market and other luxury trends with you. Today, we're going to talk about golf. Our special guest is Matt Sevarino. He's a member of the SchemmelSodaGroup and focuses on the greater Lakewood Ranch area and, of course, is our resident golf guru. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we dive into the trends and what's going on in golf, just give us a little bit of your background.
I've been in real estate for about a year and a half. And before that, I was in corporate finance, mainly with General Electric for about 20 years. So
Awesome.
I ended with being the CFO for GE Energy's field service division, living in London. So
Awesome. Love it. Since I have that professional background too and got to live abroad, everybody should do it. So let's talk trends in golf.
Yeah.
It's 2022. The real estate market is hot, right? So if somebody's looking for that special golf lifestyle, what are the options kind of in the greater Lakewood Ranch area?
Yeah, if Lakewood Ranch has anything, it's golf. We are definitely a mecca for golf. There's 9 golf courses directly within Lakewood Ranch. And then within a 1 to 2 mile radius around Lakewood Ranch, we have 11 more golf courses. So just an amazing place to be if you're into that sort of thing. But I usually tell my customers that there's 3 categories of golf offered in Lakewood Ranch and the surrounding areas. And those are the private, the semi-private, and the bundled opportunity. So
interesting. And just exploring that a little bit more, I mean, is there a big trend one way or another in those different realms?
Yeah, I think there is, and each one of those is expanding. So right now, the bundled opportunity seems to be very popular. Bundled meaning that when you move into a community that has golf as well as the other amenities like tennis, pickleball, restaurant, your HOA fees will pay for that golf membership. And there are some bundled communities that also have options to be non-golf members where the HOA fees are lower, but you still get the opportunity to play golf on an ad hoc basis if you'd like to.
Nice. And we're seeing it kind of everywhere with clubs, whether they're golf clubs or not. I mean, COVID has created this interest in private clubs. Memberships generally are way up. I mean, many places waiting lists for membership. What's kind of the big picture in Lakewood Ranch or in some of those other courses in the area?
Yeah, so with the private clubs, the memberships are drying up a bit. But again, because the real estate market is hot, they cycle out. So when people are selling, obviously those create openings.
Yeah.
The private clubs in our area are just incredible in terms of championship level golf. The bundled opportunities, before those communities are completed building, they're open to everyone and they offer memberships to people that are not living in there yet. However, once those communities start to finish the building, they do start to dry up and
Gotcha.
have only memberships in the communities.
Yeah. So the name of the game is make sure you're in there early enough.
Yes.
So, but it is interesting. I'm a member of TPC at Prestantia. They've never really been at their maximum membership, and they're butting up against it right now. So it's really interesting to see that. We've also joined another club, the Field Club, in the last couple of years. And when we joined, no waiting list, and now, boom, huge waiting list. So I think it's just an interesting trend, and we're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Same with yacht clubs, et cetera. I mean, not everybody's on a waiting list now. So.
Yeah, close to us, Founders Club, Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club. Some of these are closing in terms of social memberships, that sort of thing. Some are still open for golf, but they're not as the wait lists are longer than they used to be.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what is the most challenging course do you think that's out there?
I'm going to say probably right now Esplanade de Azario. That has a slope of about 138, which is an average slope is 113. So the higher the slope, the more difficult the course is. It's a bit tighter, and I like that course right now for a challenge.
Interesting. I was sure you were going to say the concession.
Yeah, well, the concession is definitely championship level golf. And that was something, I'm actually wearing the shirt right now, where last year they held Lakewood Ranch's first PGA event, the World Golf Championships. So that course is just beautiful with all the natural trees. And the owner, Bruce, over there has just done a wonderful job of maintaining that course as well. So
if we're just talking general, so just trends out there in golf, I mean, I think, is it more casual, or are we seeing changes in play? Meaning, is shorter games? Is that the trend? 9 holes versus 18? I mean, what's happening out there?
It's a great question. And, comparing it to up north where I grew up, you don't have a lot of communities up there that have homes on the golf course. So here, having so many residences and communities that are right on the golf course, it affords you the opportunity to only go out and play 9 holes or just a couple holes if you want. If you're a member of the course, you might be paying a cart fee, but you're not paying those green fees. So you don't have to commit to an entire 18 holes if you don't want to.
And then there's the fun part like Topgolf or something where you can drink and play.
Absolutely, as well as Pop
competition.
Stroke. Yeah, exactly, as well as Pop Stroke, which is coming to Sarasota very soon.
Is that the one being built out at UTC?
It is. It is. So that's basically, if you're familiar with Topgolf, it's basically Topgolf, but in a mini golf version.
Yeah,
you're gonna have eats and drinks, and that's a Tiger Woods partially owned business there as well. So people are pretty excited.
I know I drove by out at UTC the other day. And I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
So I had to research it. Very, very interesting.
It's gonna be fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So obviously kind of I think a little bit of a new world for golf, or maybe an evolution. But what about the demographics for golf? I mean, I think when I first moved here 20 years ago, I mean, I hate to say it, but it was mostly retirees on the golf course and predominantly men. So just kind of following up on one of the points you raised about the different types of memberships there are out there. You talked about bundled and private and semi-private. Can you just dig in a little deeper on what that actually means?
Yeah, sure. I think the majority of people up north are probably familiar with what a private membership is. And down here, it's not much different. These are clubs that are going to have exclusive lists. They'll have lower membership on purpose to make sure that the tee times are readily accessible to the members. And they'll be a bit more formal. These will be associated with clubhouses and more formal dinners and that sort of thing. But what is new to Florida, or different in Florida versus up north, is the bundled concept. So these are communities that will have golf courses as well as a lot of other amenities inside them, and your HOA fees will pay for those golf fees. There are some bundled communities where every resident is a member of the golf. And there are other communities, such as the Esplanades and River Strand, where certain residences are golf membership and the other ones are not. And that allows a better option for some people because it becomes a math equation. You'll see how many times a year you're going to play golf, and you see if it makes sense for you to be paying for the golf membership versus just being in the community, paying a lower HOA fee and paying a daily rate.
And just kind of those bundled communities, usually it is golf, but heavy amenities too, in addition. I mean, clubhouse that's very social and all types of other things.
They'll have tennis, they'll have pickleball, they'll have, Florida is no longer the shuffleboard king of the world. There's again, tennis, pickleball, restaurants, wine tasting rooms, culinary centers, full spa, everything that you can think of in terms of, enjoying yourself at these communities without having to leave the community.
And I think that's what's kind of beautiful about Lakewood Ranch and a lot of those communities they're going in. It really kind of creates a connection for people, even if they're moving from out of state, don't know a lot of people. I mean, they can instantly have a community by being part of that.
Yeah, because we still have a lot of part-timers that come down here. And when they come down, if they're coming down for just a long weekend, they may not want to get in their car and leave. They might want to just get in their golf cart and go to the center. But the other great thing about these communities is that they hold leagues, and other bundled communities or other neighborhoods will come here and come to each neighborhood, and they establish friends so that they will then play at other courses. So they're not just locked in to just the course where they own a home.
Right.
They're now playing all those 20 courses that we were talking about in the Lakewood Ranch area. So lots of options.
So we've talked a lot about kind of the big picture trends that are going on locally and across the world, around the world, really. But if you just kind of focus in on the local market, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, et cetera, I mean, what is the biggest trend you're seeing, and maybe counter to that, what is the biggest misconception about golf locally?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest trends down here is simply the age of people golfing and the amount of golf that the people are playing in their younger and mid-age years. Up north, it was mainly a weekend activity, and there were really only three or 4 or 5 comfortable months to golf during the year. Down here, it's a year-round activity, so people are able to do that, much more than they were up north. So I think just the amount of golf that the younger population is playing. Misconception is price. Golf is much more affordable down here than it is up north. You got to remember, those golf courses up north needed to make as much money in an entire year, but squeeze it into 7 or 8 months. Down here, they're open all year. Now, during the in-season months, it's much more expensive to golf down here than it will be the out-of-season. But for us Floridians, we're used to the heat down here. So golfing in July and August, we may go a little earlier in the morning, but you can find some great deals at some amazing golf courses down here. The other thing is that we talked about the bundled communities. Those are very affordable in terms of a country club type of lifestyle that just isn't an option up north. Down here, the private memberships, you're going to be in the tens of thousands of dollars in terms of those initiation fees, but not in the bundled communities, and the golf courses are just as good.
And I think it's interesting too, because we kind of, we're seeing this influx of people come from out of state and kind of they're looking at us, they're looking at Naples, they're looking at the East Coast. I mean, I think the other thing we're seeing here is we're quite affordable compared to the rest of Florida as well. I mean, I think the private club in Naples can be substantially more expensive than a club here.
Yeah, I mean, although our prices have gone up, we are sandwiched between the Naples and the Tampa market. We are always going to be more affordable than those two, and I'd argue more beautiful.
Exactly. No, I completely agree. And I think you kind of talked about just the being able to golf more. I just also think because there's more media exposure, because there's more attention to golf, we're seeing younger people play, we're seeing more women play. So I think where 10 years ago the mix of age groups and male versus female was probably one-sided, where now I think I read something today that 35% of all golf being played on the course is with juniors or with young adults too. So much younger demographic going into it. We're seeing the millennials kind of engage and again find interest in it. And I think part of that too is making it more accessible, right? Once it's more accessible for everybody, you'll see more activity.
Yeah, it's now a family activity. And if you're living in a community where these things are right outside your doorstep, it gives you an excuse to go out and play now. It's not we have to lug everything in the car and we have to go travel and we have to figure out which course to make a reservation at. So many communities that have golf right in them, it's right there for you.
Exactly. And I think it's, we're always kind of reflecting on our personal situations. I mean, I know, COVID came, right? We shut down March of 2020 for 30, 60 days. I've never played more golf. Never played more golf with my kids. Since we were all kind of sequestered here. So it was a great experience. And I think that I know my kids now love to play golf wherever they can.
I think, I've played more golf in the first year that I moved down here than I did the entire time I lived up in Connecticut. So I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah, it's fun, right? You can go out and play 9 holes in the afternoon if you want to and make it all happen. So just kind of bringing everything together. I mean, any other thoughts or comments you want to express? Golf, Lakewood Ranch, whatever you want to talk about.
I don't know that there are too many places in the world that have this number of golf courses and the level of golf challenge in such a tight area. I think it's one reason that people are coming here. Lakewood Ranch and Manatee County are sports meccas. We have IMG, we have the Premier Sports Campus, we have Lakewood Ranch Park, we have a new pickleball park that just opened in the north part of Manatee. It's definitely a place for active young families to enjoy themselves all year round.
And that's the beauty of our environment, right? And just to add to those couple things, I mean, cricket, right? We've got cricket out in Lakewood Ranch.
Polo.
Sure, yep. Matt, it was great having you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Lakewood Ranch, a great community and even better golf. This is Joel, your host for Talking Trends. See you next time.